Welcome to the Real Talk with Amethyst, where truth shines, stories matter, and authenticity leads the way. I'm your host, Amethyst, the Wonder Woman of Ink. Whether you're joining from your daily hustle, creative space, or quiet reflection, you arrived at a place where meaningful dialogue takes center. To my growing community of the gemstones and the amethyst gems, thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's explore, uplift, and begin the conversation. Today on the Real Talk with Amethyst, I am honored to sit down with the rising force in the world of entertainment. Someone whose path is as real and grounded as it is inspiring. Hunter Jones is a Chicago-based actor, comedian, producer, originally from the great state of Kansas. Before stepping into the spotlight, he worked in construction, factories, daycares, and kitchens. Experiences that helped shape his voice, values, and strong work ethic. Since moving to Chicago in late 2023, Hunter has hit the ground running, acting in independent films, working behind the scenes on commercial productions, and performing stand-up comedy in clubs and bars across the city. Whether he's behind the mic or in front of the camera, he brings presence, purpose, and passion.
I like that.
Hunter, before we dive deep into the layers, let's start with the foundation. What are some of the projects you've worked on since arriving in Chicago, and what have those experiences taught you?
Well, I'm glad you asked. My first project that I booked when I got here was a movie called Fanatic. It is written and produced by the brilliant and talented Jay Jones. Shout out to Jay. She gave me my first real movie role ever, and especially right when I was getting to the city, it could not have timed up better for me to get that. And since then, I've spent some time on some short films, some sketch comedy. I absolutely love making sketch, and shout out to Jay Davis and Omar Moore, the set that we met on. Those have been some of my favorite jobs. And then most recently, I just wrapped my first ever role in a TV show. It's a sitcom, and it's called Dial In. We just finished shooting that at the beginning of this month, and they're going to try to shop it around and see who wants it. So that's, I would say that's the project I'm most excited about, because I love comedy. I'm obsessed with comedy. So
Looking forward to that.
it'll be good. It will.
What was the adjustment like from Kansas to Chicago? Not creatively, but personally.
Oh, night and day. I mean, that was a big transition. I grew up in a college town, so it was it wasn't huge, but for, in context to the rest of Kansas, it was a pretty decently populated area. But most of my family are farmers, are people that live on the countryside, and so to kind of go from that lifestyle and that way of life to like be here around all these big buildings and stuff. I mean, there's pigeons that just don't run away when you walk by. Like they run up to you like you own something. So yeah, everything's crazy. There's always someone around. Like there's no, I took the fields for granted growing up. Like I love nature, and I kind of got bored of nature by the time I moved from Kansas. But living here has really made me like, I miss that. I miss like those empty valleys that I used to live amongst. So. Yeah, that about covers it. But I was so excited to be here that nothing caught me too badly by surprise. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, did you get bit by the acting bug early on, or did that passion show up later?
Yeah, you know what? I'd say it was something that I always knew that I wanted to do. Growing up in the part of the country I come from, Kansas, kind of Missouri area, it's not a part of the country where art is very much being promoted, and it's not generally, if you live in that area, it's not like, hey, like let's get you involved with the arts, let's get you singing songs and painting, and they don't value that as much where I'm from. So it was something that I always knew that I wanted to do, that I never really had the doors open for it until high school, when I could kind of audition for a play or a show at the theater. And like I said, yeah, it was something I always wanted to do, but when adult life began, I was kind of told myself like, oh, that's something special for like special people. That, like, that's not, I don't deserve that. And like, so I tried the just regular workforce, and I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna work. I have to become an actor. So, you know, really, the year before I moved here, August 2023, I spent that full year just training and taking classes and doing what little dinner theater shows I could do in Kansas City. So, I've been really seriously acting for almost a little more than 2 years now. But yeah, the bug bit me early. I always was a performer, always was the class clown. So I was like, let me try and turn this skill into money, because I love to talk. So.
What motivates you to keep moving forward, especially during moments of uncertainty?
Just honestly, just what a privilege it is for me to live here and to get to pursue this and to be in this industry and be in this world and make money in ways that I'm passionate about. I come from a long line of people who never really had the chance to like have a dream, like an abstract dream that they were passionate about, and to be able to pursue that dream and to really go for it. So my North Star, the thing that keeps me motivated and driven, is just kind of like, you know, I'm also doing this, you know, because I want to be someone who inspires my family and shows my little cousins and even my, you know, grandmas, aunties, and everyone that like you can really have an audacious dream and work hard to make it come true. Like that's kind of something I wake up and tell myself every day, and it's something that I want to show a lot of people I've known is possible. Because similar to art, like Kansas isn't a place where you hear a lot of like dreams being discussed, or a lot of people like talking about like one day I'm gonna, you know, it's a good way of life, but it's not a very daring way of life. So yeah, I'd say setting an example to do what you're passionate about is that's by far my biggest inspiration, I'd say.
Love it. When you're at a crossroads creatively, what grounds you? Instinct, experience, or something else?
You know, I almost always lean instinct, especially this early in my young career. I don't always, you know, I didn't go to film school, I didn't go to training academies or conservatories, and so, you know, I definitely, when I create something, especially comedy, I definitely rely on my humor, because, you know, a lot of this film stuff, a lot of like making projects and producing, you know, productions, like it's all new to me. But something that's not new to me that I've known and understood my whole life is like, what's funny? Like, how do I make the people in this room laugh right now? And when I'm at a crossroads, that is definitely the instinct that I lean toward. Yeah, I'd say instinctual.
When people mention Hunter Jones years from now, what do you hope they say, and what do you want them to not get wrong?
I'm 6'3", and that's something that I hope people will remember. You're laughing right now.
Right, because a lot of times people, they just guess. I think 6'3", I thought he was about 6'1".
Yeah, right, exactly. So I hope that my legacy is that everyone will remember that I'm overwhelmingly tall. I would say that's the biggest thing.
Okay. What's one personal win, quiet or behind the scenes, that means more to you than public recognition ever could?
That's a great question. Can you repeat that?
What's one personal win, quiet or behind the scenes, that means more to you than public recognition ever could?
You know what? I would dare to say that it's simple, but just like getting some exercise in for me. I mean, I think everyone is this way, but for me, it's make or break. Like if I exercise, especially early on in a day, that's gonna really make or break a day for me. Like that can really alter the outcome of like my mood and my behavior and my productivity levels. And so if I can just kind of get a workout in and roll on with my day, it's almost always a better day. And I'm not someone who's like frequently displaying that I've exercised. Like I'm not like, hey, I'm here at the gym. So that's my like kind of behind the scenes win. They on an almost daily basis you have a chance to get. So
If your imagination had its own passport, what country, planet, or dimension would it visit first? And what would it bring back with it?
probably Ukraine.
Mm.
No, not yet. You know, I want to say Hunterland because that's a place that I've always had in my head that like my friends know about. Like I'm always be like, oh, I'm in Hunterland right now. Like I'm not paying attention. I go there every day. So the question is if I could do if I could take my imagination to any place.
Yes, if your imagination had its own passport, what country, planet, or dimension would it visit? And what would you bring back?
I would say, I want to get this one right. This is a big question.
We could go back to it if you like.
Yeah, let's circle back. Let's circle back.
So, someone in the audience has one question.
Okay. Oh, here. Since you love comedy, have you done any improv?
Yeah, absolutely. It's well, every time you create, you have an opportunity to improvise and to like be in the moment and think of something new, snappy, and fun. Improv, like actual stage improv with the local Chicago theaters is something that I'm looking to get much more into actually. In this next calendar year, I really hope, because it's a great way to just go get some stage time and some craft. But I would say, every time I do stand up, there's that opportunity to like, I mean, that's what it is. Like you'll have your bit that works, and sometimes you think like, oh, I can go this way with it. I can try this. It's great to have that freedom, which is why I like stand-up. And the show that I just finished shooting was really unique and cool because it was a cast of mainly comedians, which is pretty rare, but it's something that I really believe in and think there's a great future in. Because you can, many of the most talented comics I know can act effectively, but many of the most talented actors I know are not funny. And so I think that if you get a cast of comedians who know how to perform, for a live audience, like it's going to be good TV. But to round out that question, on that show we had a lot of the producer Barry Brewer Jr., super talented comedian himself, was really big on giving us all creative freedom and letting us all improvise, which was amazing. It almost never gets to happen quite like that in television. Sitcoms especially. So yeah, I mean, improv something I love and play with anytime I get a chance. So
Okay, my second question is, since you're from Kansas, I'm being funny right now. Did you follow the Yellow Brick Road? Did you see Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Man? Oh, and the Wizard? Were you able to meet?
I did. I was there. I actually am the brave lion.
That's right.
Yeah. What is it? The Cowardly Lion?
Yeah,
I should know. Yeah. I actually have never sat down and like watched all the way through The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Like I totally get the story. I've seen bits and pieces of it many times throughout my life, but I've never sat down and really watched it. So it's kind of, which isn't good in Kansas. They don't like that.
Okay.
Sorry to my Kansas friends and family.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
If your career was a constellation in the sky, what shape would it be and what would you call it?
I think it would be in the shape of a young man in an apartment by himself, scrolling rapidly through Indeed, trying to find any job listing that he can. And I think it would be called the Desperate Man. That's what I think the constellation. Because a lot of days are very cool. Like a lot of days in this business are very cool and are sometimes the most unique, beautiful days of your life that you could never otherwise experience if you didn't fling yourself into this business. But many days are just like those down days where you're just like, oh, I'd really love a show, or just something to do, some way to go, like make money or to go be creative. A lot of days in the apartment. So I don't want to paint just a picture of like glory, you know.
If your story were written in ink that could never fade, what chapter would you want the world to read first and why?
What I want the who to read first?
What would you want the world to read first if your story was written in ink that would never fade?
I would honestly, I mean, obviously I'm hopefully only about a quarter of the way through my life, so it's hard to answer that for sure right now, but something I always think about is my childhood. Like that was such a, you know, for everyone those are formative years, but for me especially, I always find that if I have a close friend or if I'm making close friends with someone, like I like for them to kind of know like how I grew up and to like know what my family's like and like so understand some of the experiences that I've had, because I think when you understand what shapes a person and what makes them who they are, it's much easier to understand them and to be on the same page with them, whether you agree or not. So, yeah, especially, you know, because I'm a pretty eccentric like person, and so I definitely do like new friends of mine to have that context of like this was what the upbringing was like, and like this is kind of how he came out this way. So yeah, I would say childhood. Pretty simple answer. It could change. If you ask again in 40 years, it very well could change for now.
If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Well, I got it. Again, this is one I really want to get right. I would say, you know what, I'll just go with the Rocky theme. I'll just go with Gotta Fly Now. You can't go wrong. I mean, that's a good, you chop that up to almost any moment in your life and it looks cool. You know? So, simple answer, but I'll go with that.
Which gemstone matches your energy and why?
What are some gemstone options?
Well, I asked this question because this is the real talk with amethyst, and this is a gemstone, so
Yeah.
it's related to around that. So you have amethyst, garnet, ruby, pearl.
Diamond, sapphire.
You know what, I will just go with amethyst for a couple reasons. One is quite obvious. I mean, because actually, in my young adult life, I lived with one of my best friends, Carson Redmond, for 3 or 4 years, and he had this amazing cat, still does, have this amazing cat named Amethyst, who's just the sweetest little, everyone's favorite cat, especially mine. And I know I'm kind of doing my own thing with the question.
No, that's not.
But we love this cat dearly, and I love, and, she's one of those animals who I'll always think about, and like that name Amethyst will always make me think about that awesome time in my life. And now I'm here on this talk show, and like, this is actually the first time I've been asked to like be in an interview or to come on someone's talk show, podcast. So
Really?
yeah, no, I'm shocked. I mean, everyone does it, and I'm kind of just like, can I get an invite? You have a podcast? That's awesome, man. You ever trying to find any guests? So yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
So what's one hidden gem in your life that keeps you grounded?
I would say my siblings. I have 3 little siblings, and I tend to keep them very private because it's like, I don't want to be posting kids that aren't mine. Like, even if they're my siblings, like I don't want to have them on the internet all the time. But they are 3. So I have one sister who is about to turn 7. Her name is Leah Jones. She was my first sibling, and I love her so much. And I have 2, and I have a younger brother who is 6, named Henry, and a baby sister who is 2 years old named Maeve. And they're definitely like, they make, like every day I wake up and I'm like, I have 3 little siblings, and they're like all the shit, like awesome. And I love them so much, and it's just something to, like I said, I don't talk about it a ton, but it's just one of those things that it just brings me comfort to think about them and to spend time with them, and it is the best recharge. Like But I'm sick of adult life, and I'm sick of the industry and the business, and I'm sick of the city, and I just want to get back to my roots for a second. Like hanging out with my siblings gives me all the reset that I need, just to be around that unlimited creative energy and that youth. Like it's awesome. So, they keep me grounded.
If you had the chance to handpick your Oscar-winning role, what kind of character or story would you bring to life and why?
I would, answering that right now, I would say like a Michael Scott type of character, or like a Phil Dunphy from Modern Family, perhaps. Because I love being that zany character who, like, not everyone finds it funny, but I find it so niche funny for some reason to be like.
It's like that kind of awkward, on the nose type comedy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like everyone in this room understands that you're being a jackass except for you, the jackass. Like that's funny to me. I do find that funny. Like to be a jerk is like I find that humorous. It's so yeah, kind of maybe playing a character that is like in some power position that they just should not be in, like in a comedy.
If your future self left a voicemail today, what would it say, and would there be a call you would like to return?
It would say, hey man, those debt collectors are still trying to get at you. So don't answer. I know you're not answering the phone now. Just don't answer, and it'll be fine. I'll bet that's what future me would say. No, I would. You know, you never know how life will turn out. Like I was the type of kid at school where people were like, he's either going to be a wild success or in jail for sure. Like it's one of the two. And so it could be like a phone call, like, hey man, everything works out. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being awesome. It's all gonna be okay. Or it could be like, hey man, quit the business, like move back home and start a roofing company now, dude, because they should. Like you need to figure something out. So that could be either of those options. I'll leave both on the table for now.
So in 10 words or less, I want you to describe Hunter Jones.
Tall, super tall, hilarious, the tallest, that's 5. Caring, compassionate, too kind. The shit. That was 11. But those are the 11 I choose.
So before we get to the next segment, would you like to go back and answer that question?
Yeah. Give it to me one more time. Oh, it was if your imagination could go to any place. Right. I would say the sea. I've thought of that now. I would definitely say the sea, because you just never know what's down there. And if just my imagination's down there, I don't think I could get hurt. I think so. I feel like I could maybe explore the sea without any of the stakes of danger. And I've always been very fascinated by the deep sea and what's in there. It could be anything.
Right.
Probably.
I really do think that it's really anything.
I do too.
I think it's something that you don't want to know, actually.
I can't disagree. I can't refute that. What is it they say? That we've only discovered how much of the sea? Ain't it like 5%? Something like that. That's a lot of sea. And actually, that's a lot of just the globe, honestly. That like has not been. That's like 70% of the globe, probably. That is just uncharted, unexplored. So, I'm glad we circled back, because I think that was a smart answer. Send your imagination down there.
So I have this segment called Flip the Script segment, where you have the opportunity to ask me questions.
Oh, all right. Do I get cue cards? Is there a little script or something? No.
Improv.
There we go. Yeah, I do a little improv. Well, it's okay. I've definitely got some I've been wondering. So, how long ago did you start the show?
So I actually started doing video version of this about, I'm gonna say roughly 10 years ago.
Oh,
But I actually started in high school. So at that time I was not doing video. It was mostly like with my tape recorder.
Okay.
So I have a lot of interviews where it's just audio.
Okay,
audio,
yeah.
pictures, and
Okay.
then I would write the story down. So it's a lot of, it's like, I don't know what was going on at the time. Well, I didn't record it, but that's what happened.
Well, so you got some skin in the game then. You've been like doing this a while. That's awesome. Okay. And what made you want to start the show?
And so I always wanted to start. So that was something I was always interested in.
Mhm.
So like when I was little, I watched TV. I kind of like how the news reporters would present, but I didn't want to talk about the news. I wanted to talk about something different, and I also like Oprah. So I used to call myself Baby Oprah.
Nice.
Because it was like,
I see it.
Oprah was like, she likes to talk about all these topics, but I haven't got to the point where I can say everyone gets a car. I haven't got there.
Yeah. Soon though. It can't be far off. And I'll be coming back when that day comes. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great. It is nice to have your own show where it's like the news, but we talk about awesome stuff instead. That's a great model. So, and then I guess I also am curious. How did you start getting into the film world? Like, how did you meet Jay, and how did we kind of cross paths that day on that set?
Oh, so I know Jay was from way back when he first started Shots Fired. So if you look at that, you will see me in multiple scenes in the background.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
I was in Not Another Zombie movie, so you'll see me like at the beginning, like look towards the middle on one of the zombies walking down the street.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I just like kept in contact over time. And he's had different projects, and then when this came up, I said, you working on Creative Hustle, so let me try that out. I haven't did this, and so I just came that day. I had done acting before. I've been on like Empire. So like actually, if anybody wants to look at the first episode of Empire, when they're singing No Apologies, I'm in the background right next to Tiana.
Nice. Nah, that's cool. That's actually really cool. A show like that. That's the shit. Well, very nice. Okay, so but I guess more specifically, what made you want to be in that world? Like, what made you like interested in being like, oh, I think I want to be on the screen. I think.
So that's something that I always wanted to do, but it's so like part of me is like kind of quiet, kind of shy. So it's like kind of difficult to try to navigate, find a medium of that that's kind of different than to acting. On camera, it's kind of different than you have to remember script, and then you have lines. It's totally different from like what I do here. That's like different to me.
Yeah.
Like this is like easy. Like I could do this like off the top of my head. But like acting, I would like to do it, but it's kind of to get past the nerves part.
Yeah, big time. Absolutely. Well, I mean, you have acted. Like, you are an actor. Like, you've acted in a number of things that, like, I mean, because once you just act a few times, like, no matter where it is or what the role, like, it's not so big. Like, the lights aren't so bright, the camera isn't so, like, what's all that back there? Like, just when you get those reps in, like, that I have found is the biggest thing that's helped with nerves. Like, because I still remember the first time I was my first ever scene to like talk in a movie. Like I was like I was super nervous, and just the more you go, like the more it, just like anything, the next time you go, it's like it's not so bad. So
it's like thinking about like the people that's watching.
yeah,
Like the people on set that's like looking, because like even if you're looking at the lights in the camera, you can see the people behind the lights in the camera looking.
maybe just 40 people watching you, judging you. All their schedules are banking on you doing good. Like that is pressure. Like that is, because I work crew too, so I know how mad people get when actors aren't picking up lines or when they're not memorized. Like people get heated, upset. So, but yeah, I definitely know what you mean. It's interested to be more of an introverted type of person, but to want to be in this industry. So I relate to that myself for sure, and it's like it's a really interesting blend that you have to try and find.
Right.
Where like this, I mean, this industry will take everything. Like you meet the some of the craziest people, some of the most manipulative people, some of the most exploitive people. Like, and if you're like kind of someone who doesn't get charged up by being around a bunch of people, it is hard to maneuver this world.
Yeah, because it could be like kind of, it's like exciting on one hand and then draining on the other.
Exactly, big time. And the 12-hour days, the 14s, 16s, I pulled 18. Like it's everything. And everyone on set loves to talk, and it seems like no one ever. Sometimes everyone's tired, but some sets are like, why isn't anyone tired? Y'all aren't tired. I'm tired. That's another question. Have you lived in Chicago all your life?
Yeah.
Very nice. Is it? Have you ever been anywhere that you like better, or are you convinced that Chicago's the best?
No, well, unfortunately, I have not done much traveling, but I have been to wherever I've been to Indiana. I've been to Mississippi once.
Oh,
It was
nice.
okay.
Just okay.
Well, I wasn't there long enough to really get like an idea of it. It was kind of like I went to Indiana to see the Michael Jackson house. So when he had one of those anniversaries, I went there specifically to see that. Then came back, and then when I went to Mississippi, well, it wasn't good because my great grandmother had passed away. But I met family members that I had never seen. And one of my cousins, I've been in contact with her ever since.
Oh, okay, very nice. It's always a bummer when you're like traveling somewhere new, like just for like a funeral or something.
Right.
And, like your friend's like, oh, you're going to Florida. And it's like, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Just this time. But do you, okay, kind of side tangent question. Maybe we cut this, is just something I like to like ask people about. Do you think Michael Jackson, what do you think? What do you think? Because my stance is that like, I don't know everything that happened. I know it did not look great. Some of the things, I also know he was proven innocent in the court of law. I also know that those songs are good, real good. A lot of those songs were very good. And no one could dance like that, no one.
Oh, no.
And so it's hard for me to, I like to defend Michael Jackson sometimes.
It's like with anybody that you really go based off of what you've seen. Like there was accusations, but you never saw proof. So it's really kind of like hard to really specifically say. But from what they came with in court as far as evidence, I didn't really see anything convincing. Because it's kind of like when you come to court, you should have not speculation. Where is the actual proof? Where is the audio?
Right.
You've been watching for all this time. You should have all those things: audio, pictures.
Yeah. Where's the tape?
That's what I was thinking.
Where's the
Right.
tape? My whole thing with him is that like I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist in that I do believe that like, especially in entertainment, especially with A-list celebrities, like if you are viewed as a problem by someone, could be anyone behind closed doors, like maybe someone in charge of a business or maybe someone in the music industry. Like, if you are a problem, like I do believe that there is this thing where they make you go away, however it may be. And there's no question that Michael Jackson had become massively one of the most influential characters like in the world.
Yeah.
And he bought a ton of Sony's music catalog, and like there's all these things, and think about the messages that he would tell people come together. He tried to bring people together. He tried to be someone that bridged a gap between two worlds that weren't particularly connected. So I don't know. There seems to be a pattern to me of people who are that type of figure in the world, who somehow, whether it be character assassination, something, like they go away. So. We can.
That's true.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts. We can wrap up the Michael Jackson defense. I love the subject. Like I love to talk to people about it because I think that was one of the craziest things in culture that's happened in my life. Like was me flipping the script. That was me, yeah. No, I think that's about it in terms of me, like, facilitating conversation, Michael Jackson based or not. Is there anything else you got?
No, we can close if you're done.
I'm having a blast. Is there anything else, like, just...
I have a question.
Yeah.
Someone in the audience has a question.
Yes. It's a two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With what you have seen, and kind of piggybacking off the Michael Jackson thing,
Yeah.
when you reach a certain level of fame and you start trying to control your destiny in an industry where others are used to controlling the destiny of actors and the other people in the industry,
Yeah.
what are you doing to prepare yourself for when you become this rising star and this great star and you get invited to the parties or to the, you know what I'm saying, what are you doing now? Because the now is when you should start preparing,
Yeah,
not when you get there.
Right, yeah, completely.
Or you'll become a victim.
Exactly. I think too many people tell themselves, oh, it's a conspiracy, oh, that doesn't happen, oh, that won't happen to me. It could. I mean, it could happen to, whether it's, you know, a Diddy situation or what, like, when you get that power, like, yeah, there are people who will want to control what you say and who will want to say, you can't say that, you're paid by us, you're going to say this to a massive audience. Like, that's something I think about all the time because I'm a freedom of speech absolutist to an extent, and like I do want money. I'd like to sign those contracts, but I don't like the caveat that someone could take away my freedom potentially and go, you can't say that, you just can't. And so that's something I think about a ton. And in terms of like this phenomena in Hollywood not Hollywood, just this business in general, where people maybe have something that you, a performer, needs or wants, and maybe they're trying to leverage, you know, maybe they'll say like, oh, come, you know, people with power do it all the time, where they'll take someone young and new, and they'll say, oh, come do this, like, we'll study lines, like, come audition for this, and it's just... And there's a lot of people out there with bad intentions, and like I've already definitely, in my short time in the industry, like dealt with and seen a ton of, you know, behavioral misconduct and people not being professional and people exchanging like movie roles for favors, you know. And, you know, I mean, it's out there. It's all out there. It's an industry littered with it, and it's no different at the top. And like I think more people should know that and understand that, and that it's not just like a QAnon type of like conspiracy. So I just have conversations with myself, like say someone offers you like $50,000, $100,000 to maybe do this show for a year, and like or maybe to be this representative for a year, but you have to do this, or like you have to be around this maybe kind of predator type person. Like I just like have the conversation with myself in my head, like what are you going to say? You're going to say yes or no to this scenario, or you're going to say yes or no to that scenario. And I think not enough performers run those scenarios through their head. I think they just work, and then here's the offer, take it or don't get it, and it's, you know, and then that's how people get in messy situations sometimes.
So that kind of leads. I'm sorry.
We don't have time for any more questions.
Okay.
So, Hunter, thank you for joining me and sharing your journey, your insight, and your imagination. Your path is a reminder that no matter where we start, purpose and passion can shape something powerful. To all my gemstones and amethyst gems, if today's conversation inspired you, challenged you, or sparked something within, let it add another faucet to the brilliance you're becoming. The deluxe edition of The Real Talk with Amethyst is out now and available for purchase, filled with exclusive content and deeper dialogue. It's in here. Until next time, stay grounded, stay brilliant, and always stay true to who you are.
Yo.